Special celebration, guys. I have been on YouTube for 10 years. Let's talk about the history of my channel and just everything that got me to where I am now. And you're watching Florence Ballard A3060 on film.
This is
Florence Ballard A3060.
Doors will open on the right-hand side.
So yes, you heard that right. I have been on YouTube for 10 years. 10 whole years. I was age 17 when I started this YouTube channel. It was September the 29th was the official date I joined YouTube, 2014. And I didn't post anything for a very long while until I didn't get posting that year until December. So I'm trying to think now. I don't really recall too many of my early subscribers. I do know that one of the first people that ever commented on my page or my channel was Jordan, Becco Lover Forever. I think he was still Becco Lover Forever. No, what was he? He was Indicent Lover Forever, I think, at that time or something. I can't remember, maybe. But he commented something like welcome to YouTube or something like that. So my channel has a very long history to it. So what we're going to do today is just basically talk about sort of everything you guys may have wanted to know about my channel. I haven't done any sort of Q&As. I would like to do a Q&A one day, but I don't know, maybe. But however, I just want to talk through the history of my channel, what sort of got me into it in the first place, and then just sort of how maybe my channel's progressed. We'll go through all the different usernames I've had. We'll go through all the different spoken intros that I've had, so all the things that I say at the start, and I will do a compilation of all of the intros I've ever used. Now, just before a little heads up, if you are having trouble viewing this on a phone, it's likely because some of my intros had copyrighted music in them. Yes, I was very stupid and did that for some reason. I don't know why, but it was what I used to do. So if that's the reason you can't view it, then that's why. And I've put the disclaimer in the description below. Anyway, so we're here with the main machine of my channel. But anyway, more on that much later. So let's start off with the day I joined and starting with all the usernames I had. So for anyone who remembers, I've not been someone that keeps my username, but I have now obviously got this username. So when I first made my account, September 29th, 2014, I was destined to be a vacuum cleaner only channel. Now, I called myself 𝙈𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙍𝑃neumatic. The reason for calling myself 𝙈𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙈𝙍𝑃neumatic, I think it was also to do with one, there was a vacuum cleaner I believe called Sir Henry. So it was one of the pneumatic Henrys. I don't know if it was a custom made one someone did. But also I was obsessed with using the, there was a name of a train on Southend Pier called Sir William Haygate, and another one was Sir John Betjeman, for those who know, like Lord Mayor, something like Baron of Southend or something, London. I don't know who it was, but it was named after that. So I got obsessed with using the term Sir at the start of my names. It made me feel really big, really sort of important. I was going through I was transferring from my first to second or last year of college at the time on an aviation course. So basically, I had a photo of my pneumatic, what was it, HVR 200A in yellow, which has now been sold. That got sold in 2022. And I also had my pneumatic Basil as my appropriate, two of them together. So that was that. Didn't get uploading anything. However, I went through a few name changes. I then decided I wanted to name myself after like a washing machine. Now, the reason I was a vacuum cleaner only channel when I started, I went through a bit of a phase where, sort of due to personal reasons, you could just sort of say my mum and all wasn't very approving to the idea of me being into washing machines. It's happened to a lot of people that have been through that with their parents. I do admit, when I was around the age of 11 or 12, I was quite dangerous with machines. I wasn't how I am now. I was into sort of learning stuff that I shouldn't know how to do with machines. I learned about like the service mode on machines back then. I learned about what would happen if you like damaged the concrete weight on a machine, and I was attempting to do stuff with machines here, and but it wasn't very nice like how I was that way. So I never gave up the interest in washing machines. I just refined myself to be more sensible about things. So I've been a long member on 𝑎utomaticwasher.org, which is the original place that most washing machine enthusiasts congregated, and learned so much stuff about it. I mean, that's how I ended up knowing about this and all the other machines I've had. Then I changed my name so I wanted to name myself after one of my favourite hotpoint machines. However, YouTube only allows you to put letters and, I don't know if now you can do it, but you had to only put letters and numbers in your name. This is when they adopted the first name, and then your channel before used to just have a channel name and that was it. You could never use that channel name again. Now you can have several people with the same channel name and it's not gonna make a problem, which is the reason I want to get verified, but I've got to wait till like 100,000 subscribers for that, so oh well, you know, happens anyway. So I called myself 95472, which is a mod number of a hotpoint new generation. However, Google was like, you have to put a letter in your name. So I decided, well, I can't give myself a name because the new generations didn't have a letter at the end of their mod number. So I called myself 95472A because it's the almond model. Kept that name for about 2 weeks. Then I changed to, and I remember this, Hotpoint WMA64, and I kept that name for a while. So I did actually name myself after the WMA64 at one point, and I went commenting on that. Name. I'm just trying to think what my username was before I started properly uploading. I can't remember what I called myself. I think it was that. So yeah, I was Hotpoint WMA64 for one. I remember talking to like some of the old collectors like Mike King. So you got Chester Mike UK. What's he now? We had one of those. He was been on there, and Matchbox Paul or Matchbox 3236H. He doesn't upload anymore, but I commented a few things on his page. But for the life of me, I can't remember what I called myself after that, because then I started uploading, and the very first video I uploaded, and it's a painful memory because I got rid of this vacuum for no reason at all. On Christmas Eve of that year, I vacuumed the sitting room we had, rug we had, and it was of my 1998 blue pneumatic HBR 200, a nice blue Henry with a bold title. I think I know where it's ended up, that vacuum. I don't know if it's still in use or if it's still there, but I'm going to try and get it back, because that I'm just so stupid to give that up. And then that took off. Then I filmed on New Year's Eve my pneumatic Basil, which, as you know, is my favourite vacuum cleaner. Hold the thought. And of course, the second vacuum cleaner to start my channel off, here he is, Basil. So filmed him. And then those videos got some good views and good comments from a lot of you guys who were just saying welcome. I had a few vacuum enthusiasts commenting. At the time, no one really knew much about sort of who I was, but I did used to have a previous channel, and it still is up with 3 videos on it. I used to be called Hotpoint 95452, and then way before that I had a channel called 𝙈𝙊𝙏𝙗𝙗. That account I took down. I was only about 10 years old when I was making that, 10 or 11. And then Hotpoint 95452, I mainly just used to comment on people's videos. I was comment really stupid. Like, the thing is, I now sort of understand how irritating I could have been at that time and why sort of people did just get annoyed with me. But hey, you know, haven't we all done stuff like that on YouTube at some point when we were kids? Yeah, so I had videos of, what did I film back then? Oh, I had a video of my dad's Candy C8040. It was one of like the combi wash models, like an exclusive model. And then I filmed my nanny and granddad's Hotpoint WM51 on a short spin. God, I miss that machine. And I had one of a Miele WS5406 that I filmed in Tenerife. Yeah, that was it. And I think it was Los Cristianos I filmed that or something. Or no, it might have been. Or Playa de las Americas. I don't know where, or Playa, I don't know, Playa de Vista, I don't know where it was. It was somewhere out over there I filmed it. And we went back there a few years later and it had gone, the whole laundrette. But yeah, so that was that. But then I thought, I wanted to see what would happen if I filmed a washing machine. So of course, Mum at this point still wasn't aware that I was kind of filming washing machines, so I did it quite sneakily, and I know Mum's probably watching this because we're probably going to watch this together, and Mum's going to be like, oh. So January the 4th, 2015, I remember this day because there was an incident with a Curry's delivery van. They dropped the trolley off and hit someone's car, and in the back of the lorry was a Hotpoint HVL211 that was being scrapped, and it was like, somewhere I've got that photo of it, I don't know where. But yeah, that's what I found, and I was like, okay. Basically, this is what happened. So the very first machine I did film on this channel, despite how much I don't always like this machine, there was the Miele W562 Prestige Plus 6, as she was the only machine I had in the house at the time. That was when we had the Miele here and the White Knight dryer, which was disused. As that machine died of a bearing failure. I think the fan got jammed on it or something. It just sounded horrible. Oh, the heating elements failed on it as well. So, but it had done 9 years of service. Well, 10 years of service actually it had done. So the Miele was doing a towel wash on cotton 60, and I got some of the main wash, and I've still got these videos. And then I filmed an unbalanced spin and the start of a rinse. And those videos really took off because people were interested in seeing washing machines, and I thought, okay, fair enough, let's see what we can do. So the history of my usernames starts with originally being 𝙈𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙏, then I went to, that was around November, and then I think September to November, and around November I changed to 𝙈𝙈𝙾𝙍𝙏𝑉. Wasn't happy with that. Then I changed to Hotpoint WMA64. You can hear that, the WD64's on in the background. I thought I'd have that as a little background sound. She's on a boil wash with some whites. And then I stayed as Hotpoint WMA64 for quite a while, uploading videos all the way through to around, I think, March or April. Then I decided that I was going to look after the Miele because many people were saying the poor state of that machine. And it was, that machine was full of limescale, so I decided to start doing videos of the machine myself. And that was when I changed to, if anyone remembers, me being called King of Miele. And it was taking inspiration from someone who's called, you get people like Hotpoint King, you've got Whirlpool King I've had. Someone on here is called King of 𝙈𝙆, so I kind of took it of that, King of Miele, because obviously Miele's always been a brand that I've really loved, and at the time they were the only modern brand that I liked. And I must have stayed that way all the way through to about August, where I briefly changed to Candy Domino, named after one of the 1980s range of Candy washing machines, Candy Dominoes. I quite like them, but they're induction motor, so they're not realistically something I'm a huge fan of, but they're nice machines. That was brief. Then, of course, 2015 was the year that I got obsessed with the Supremes and Motown, so I changed to Love the Supremes. And I stayed that way for quite a while, almost a year. Then it was roughly around sort of May 2016. So this is when like my channel was really taking off and I was getting serious about everything. And I thought, I want a new name. I want a name that's going to be something I can settle on, and I want it to be something that is going to reflect like something I love. I thought, okay, so I'm a huge fan of the Supremes, but I'm like, but I don't want it to be, my channel's not about Motown, it's just kind of named that because it's a group I like, but I wanted there to be something of washing machines in it. So I had a bit of trouble thinking of one myself, so I went round and started asking people on Facebook, asking people on Instagram to like sort of help me think of a name. I wanted it to be something I like outside of washing machines, and then something to do with washing machines. So I obviously wanted something like the Supremes or Florence Ballard in it in some way, because obviously Florence has always been my favourite member of the Supremes. Diana Ross may have been like the one everyone knows, but Florence Ballard started the group, and she was the original lead singer, and she was not treated very well and whatnot. I'm not going to go into a big discussion because that's one of the reasons these Supremes fandom becomes very toxic, because of the whole drama between Diana Ross and whatnot, Berry Gordy, so I'm not going to get into that. But Florence has always been the member that I have always liked, and also sort of took a lot of inspiration from her. I feel like her ways of life have sort of taught me a lot. So I thought, okay, we could have her name in it. Originally I thought, Well, there's a washing machine that has her name in it, the GE Filter Flow, which is an American top loader, but I thought, it's not really my favourite machine. It's just a machine I like the name of. It's probably one of my favourite top loaders, but it wouldn't be something I consider a name. Plus, I'm likely, well, I have filmed one in Australia, but likely never going to really have one here or so. So that went to scrap, that name. I then thought someone came up with the idea of like the Supreme washing machine, or someone said Agitator Flow was another one. I thought, well, that's quite a good one. But I thought agitator, but I'm a British collector, so I'm likely never going to have a machine with an agitator in it. So then I came up with the idea of 𝘾𝘼𝙉𝙏 was another one. So that did kind of work, because I thought, I do love the Hoover 𝘾𝘼𝙉𝙍, but I thought it's still not my favourite machine. So I was like, okay, hang on. So I thought Florence Ballard's my favourite member of the Supremes, so why not have my favourite washing machine? And of course, despite all the usernames I went through, we know what my #1 favourite machine in the world is. I'm sitting right next to it. The Hoover A3060. I thought, right, Hoover A3060, what could I do? So I did like Hoover Flow A3060. I was like Florence 3060. I was come with all names. And then I just happened to say it. I went, what about Florence Ballard A3060? I was like, I like the way it rolled off the tongue, and I was like, perfect. Because I thought, you've got her name in it, Florence Ballard's got her full name, and then just at the end, A3060. And that was how this name got born. And I've never changed it ever since, and I never will. I knew that one day I would end up finding one, but I just didn't know when. But that's the reason, and that's also the reason this machine got named Florence, because of that reason too, as well as all the other reasons. But yeah, that's why I thought I'd sit next to her and do a video about that. But yeah, so that's the history of the usernames, and it's never going to change. So at this point was when I was really starting to take the channel seriously. I was like, okay, it's not just a thing of uploading videos. Like, this was also when I became monetized, because back then you didn't need 1,000 subscribers nor 4,000 watch hours. You just had to be legible and uploading a lot. So that's what I did, and that's when I started getting monetized. Now, what we've done that, we will go into the history of all the spoken interludes, but I may just play them over videos. So one of the things we know that I've always done is I've had spoken intros. And this is something that when people sort of take their YouTube channel seriously, you start to like customize it. Now, I never had an intro, and by intro I don't mean the video sort of sequence before a video starts. And what about the actual thing I say at the start? When I first started this channel being Florence Ballard A3060, I never even said my username in any of my intros. In fact, my first one was just simply, so let's say I was doing a video now for this machine, and I'd be like, good evening everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be filming the Hoover A3060 Electronic 1100 on a Program B white heavy soil with 1100 RPM. That was literally what or it'd be good morning, good afternoon as well. And then when, what was it? Then at the end of the video, so say I did this one, I'd be like, okay, well, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. It literally was that. And I did that for quite a while, and I thought, this is quite tedious and quite monotonous in a way. It was kind of like, it's standard to every channel to just say, good evening, welcome to another video, and thank you for watching, see you in the next video. I thought, no, I want something that is going to make my channel sort of stand out in a way, and sort of I can always, you know, have as like a custom thing to say. A personal greeting that you know it's specifically for me, and not just me just going, oh yeah, welcome to another video. So I went through a while of trying to figure out stuff. It probably wasn't until, I think, see, it's hard. I gotta go through all my videos on this and look at this. Okay, so September 2016 was when I found the Hotpoint 9530, and that was the very first machine of my own in this, in my collection. Around that time, I adapted my own intro, and that, I remember the first one that I ever said. Believe it was, thank you for surfing Safari and stopping by. Thank you for surfing Safari and stopping by. Okay, today I thought that was that one. Now, all of these intros have got to play on something. As we go through them all, you'll know what you'll finally know why I used to say what I used to say all them years ago. So, saying that, thank you for surfing Safari and stopping by, it was a little pun on something. So, first of all, thank you for surfing Safari. So, okay. As well as being a Motown fan, I am also a huge fan of the Beach Boys. Straight away, I'm sure you guys know where that's come from. They have a song, it was probably, I think it was their first #1 hit, was Surfing Safari. It's a very popular surfing song, and it goes,
let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how, come on a safari with me.
But yes, it's that. And also another play on that. At the time, I was beginning to realise that a lot of my viewers were actually viewing my videos on a phone or an iPad or some sort of tablet. And I don't know if back then could you figure, I don't know if it still has it, I think Google had something that you could figure out what browser people were using, and I saw people were using Safari. So thank you for surfing Safari. In other words, thank you for surfing the web on your Safari and stopping by. You've stopped by to watch my video. And that I adapted for quite a while. But the outro that I say, the exit phrase that is don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow.
I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, guys, keep it supreme and go with the flow.
I am stuck with that. Like, literally, I could never change that now because I've said it so many times. It's just, I haven't trademarked the saying, and I don't think I ever probably could. But at the end of the day, people know that belongs to me. That that intro or that outro. Now, how that was created, it was created between me and my friend Princess, who you've seen when I've gone to Denton. We've vlogged with her. So she runs a group for Florence Ballad, and it was the very first one that I ever joined. Florence Ballad, I can't remember what it's called now though. So I think she wrote on a post, keep it supreme, and then I wrote, go with the flow, as in FLO, Florence's name, because it was just a play on it. And I was like, go with the flow, that's quite a good one. And I liked keep it supreme. So we put them together. But on my channel, it's not just a random load of words I said. They actually all have meanings to why I say that. So it means keep it supreme. There's two meanings to that. Me personally, it means keep life being a fan of the Supremes. My channel will always be in memory of the Supremes or whatever. Regardless of, like, now, for example, my music taste has changed a bit. I still love Motown, still love the Supremes and whatnot. I love the Supremes. But obviously I'm my #1 band is obviously Duran Duran that I love, but it doesn't mean I'll ever forget the Supremes. And that's one of the reasons I kept my channel name as Florence Ballad A3060 and didn't change it to anything else. That's basically so that's what that meant. Also, keep it supreme. Supreme means something grand, something brilliant. So keep it brilliant, keep life brilliant, keep living life supremely, you know, like that's what I sort of say. It's not just like for me, it's for you guys, you know, to live life to being supreme. Reign supreme, you could say. That was the same towards Diana Ross, I think. Diana reigns supreme or something, yeah. And then go with the flow, as well as it being like, so go with Florence Ballad's life is the way I thought. Go with the way she would do things. But also go with the flow, as in, if you spell it the correct way as FLOW, it means go with the flow. Go where life takes you, you know, live the unexpected. So it's like a way of me saying it was also after I started knowing that people watch my videos to, like, some people see it as therapy, some people are having trouble in school or college or family problems, and they come and watch my videos and it makes them feel better. So it's me just like sort of giving you a personal one-to-one thing of saying, you know, I might not be able to speak to everyone at once and be like, so just go with the flow. Keep being amazing and just go where life takes you. That's also what it also means. So there's always little hidden Easter eggs in why my intros and outros are what they are. Go with the flow is what stayed. Then I would now and again change the intro slightly. So when it was Christmas, I'd be like season's greetings or Merry Christmas and thank you for surfing Safari and stopping by. I'd add little things like that. Then 2017 came along, and that's when I decided to change that. So every year I went through a thing. I used to go through the thing of changing my spoken intro, and that stopped in 2021. So 2017 was, this sort of changed a bit, and I think it changed so much I don't think I can get it all in the correct order, but I'll go through all my videos and have a look. So it was something like, greetings and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, home of the Hotpoint 9530A, Miele W562 washing machines, and the greatest girl group of all time, the Supremes. That's what it used to say.
Season's greetings and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, home of the Hotpoint 9530A, Miele W562 washing machines, and the greatest girl group of all times, the Supremes.
And then I had that for a while. Then when we went to Australia for a month, unexpectedly when my Auntie Brenda passed away, I said, good day and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060. Yeah, I just thought I'd add a little bit there.
Good day and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, home of the 𝙄𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙏𝙼, Miele 𝑊562 washing machines and the greatest girl group of all time, the Supremes.
Throughout the whole of 2017, that intro was tweaked now and again. Then I introduced it as saying the same thing as, and the greatest groups of the 1960s, the Supremes and the Beach Boys. And then at one point, that changed. It changed around the order. It said the Beach Boys and the Supremes, because at one point I was getting more fascinated with the Beach Boys. So, like...
Greetings and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, home of the 𝙄𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙏, Miele 𝑊562 washing machines and the greatest groups of the 1960s, the Beach Boys and the Supremes. Greetings and welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, home of the 𝙄𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙏, Miele 𝑊562 washing machines and the greatest groups of the 1960s, the Supremes and the Beach Boys.
But that, yeah, the 𝙄𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙏 Miele 𝑊562 washing machine, because at the time they were the only two machines that I would film in the house. You had British Heart Foundation, but that was when I considered the Miele being part of my collection, hence why the Miele had always had the name Millie, and now that name goes to the 𝙄𝙈WD64. You will get to see her in a bit, by the way, which she starts spinning and whatnot, probably. So that was that. That was how that went. And then the intro, I think, ended up changing. It was 2018. This is when the intro became very complicated. But it was something like this. It was, so thank you. So keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made in loving memory of the original Supreme Florence Ballad and Hoover's first 1100 RPM automatic, the A3060 electronic 1100.
So keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made in memory of the original Supreme Florence Ballad.
That was a very long mouthful to say, that one.
So, keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made in loving memory of the original Supreme Florence Ballad and Hoover's first 1100 RPM washing machine, the A3060 electronic 1100.
It stayed that way throughout the whole of 2018 till when we moved to Australia. And then, of course, that came along when we went to Australia. And it changed slightly, and it became even more complex. It went, hang on. So keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you're watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made... Oh, God, I can't remember what it was now. The channel... You know what, I've actually forgotten what it was. It was a long and complex one. It was something like the channel for vintage washing machines, appliance demonstrations and tutorials, the Supremes and Florence and Hoover's first 1100 RPM washing machine, the A3060 electronic 1100.
And welcome to Florence Ballad A3060, the channel for vintage washing machines, appliance demonstrations, reviews and tutorials, 1960s and 80s music, and the Hoover A3060 electronic 11.
Then when we came back in 2019, back to the UK, that intro stayed, and I ended up saying the Shirelles, because I got into the Shirelles at the time, and that's when I sort of left the Supremes fan because of how toxic it got.
So, keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made in loving memory of the original Supreme Florence Ballad and Hoover's first 1100 RPM automatic, the A3060 electronic 1100.
So, keep yourselves tuned in, watching HD, because you are watching Florence Ballad A3060, the channel made in honour of the original Supreme Florence Ballad, the Shirelles and Hoover's first 1100 RPM automatic, the A3060 electronic 1100.
But I still, as I say, always kept my love for the Supremes. I remember that one. And then that stayed all the way through to 2020. And it continued after. That was it. Then in 2020, I changed it to, I wanted something more simpler. I was like, I would just pop up on the camera and go, I'm Florence Ballad A3060 and you're into something good.
I'm Florence Ballad A3060 and you're into something good.
That literally, I wanted a nice flashy intro where it was just me for about 2 or 3 seconds on the camera saying it and then go. Now that, you're into something good, who maybe remembers my obsession for the group, or the band's Herman's Hermits. If you don't know what song I'm referring to, there's a song called I'm Into Something Good, and it goes,
woke up this morning feeling fine. There's something special on my mind. Something tells me I'm into something good.
That's how I go. So, I got obsessed with that. But that intro was cut short till March, because what happened in March 2020? Lockdown, coronavirus, the whole year of COVID. When that happened, I changed it to go with the times. Instead of saying you're into something good, I would say I'm Florence Ballard 𝙂3060, staying safe in quarantine, and I would always lower a face mask and say it and then put it back up.
I'm Florence Ballard 𝙂3060, staying safe in quarantine.
That stayed all the way throughout 2020. I didn't stop using that intro till roughly, I think, when we came out of the first lockdown. Then we ended up going back, but then I think COVID and lockdown destroyed my mental health completely. Like, it made me go crazy at times and whatnot. I just obviously then didn't want to acknowledge COVID on my channel anymore, so I just said, I think I just kept it, you're into something good. Also, by saying that, it means you're into something good because you're on my channel, it's going to be a good video. You're into something good if you've decided to come to my channel and whatnot. And then 2020 ended, and then we started 2021. And I finally was fixed on an intro that I've kept today. And I think I came up with this roughly before going to see Charlie in around, I think it was May or so I came up with this. I don't know, it might have been, I don't know when it was. Or did I change it during, I can't remember if I changed it. But the intro we settled on was I'd come up to you, I'd say the video, so like today we're going to be filming the Hotpoint WD-64 on this and you're watching Florence Ballard 𝙂3060 on film. If you know, now I'm sure everyone can guess what that intro is. On film, there's a famous song that I love, obviously by 𝙤𝙈𝙍𝙏, called Girls on Film.
Girls on film. Girls on film.
And you're watching Florence Ballard 𝙂3060 on film.
I wanted to incorporate something of 𝙤𝙈𝙍𝙏 into my title. My other one could have been like something like, I was going to try and incorporate Hungry Like the Wolf into it, but I thought, no, I can't really sort of say that, because that song's got quite a sexual meaning to it, and also you're hungry like the wolf for my videos or something like that. Or maybe was going to quote like Ordinary World or something, but I thought, nah, I can't really do that. It doesn't make sense. So on film, and it's true, because you're watching me on film, on a camera, even though there's no real film in the camera, but that's it. So that's where we are now. We've gotten to that now, and this is probably going to be my channel for the foreseeable future with that intro. Now, where I got the idea of, and don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow, when I made that intro, I was obsessed with this YouTuber called 𝙄𝙈𝙋𝙊𝙑𝙄, and I'm sure some people know 𝙑𝙄𝙖, his name is. He's the creator of the Psycho series, you know, Psycho Dad, Psycho Brother, where he fooled us for about 2 years or so that he had this family that were destroying his electronics and his games consoles and all that. His outro was, and don't forget to keep it rigid, as in rigid is like his gaming channel, Ridgeway, and it probably means something else, I don't know. So I thought, and don't forget, I like that, it's saying no matter what you do, don't forget about my channel, don't forget about me. It's like, that's kind of why I think I adapted that. A lot of my inspiration of the way I do my videos has been taken from a lot of people, and there's a lot of people I do have to thank for that. But yeah, so that's a look into the intros. You've seen all the intros like I've put it up. And then we're going to now go on to the actual intros themselves. I'm not going to really explain any, but just obviously some of them, like, they all varied showing what I had on my channel. At one point it was where I did aviation and trains on here too, and vlogs. Then when I took that out, it would just be videos of my collection. But the most recent, so in the last sort of 2 or 3 years, my intros have gotten a bit more personal. So 2021, you may remember we did the one with the Office intro, and that was done when I reached 5,000 subscribers with the LG. That time after that, 2022, was the video of the 𝙂3060, ramping up in stages, so tumble, distribute, 500 spin, 800, 1100, that we did that as well, and it was like a new video every time. And then we got to when I was 2022 was that 2023 was the Hoover 6 Interact was the screen, and I wrote it in the same font with the beep of the dial. That was like, because it was like I didn't want my intros, because my intros used to be like 40 seconds long, and I hated that. Because it was one of the reasons I didn't like doing short videos at that point, because I thought, what's the point of a short video when like half the video is probably going to be my intro? And then 2024 came along, and we're now at the intro we have now, where it is. So let me break down this new intro we've got. Let me break this down. The So you got the flashing lights, which is like a show. It's just like going on stage. It's like, you know, that's the thing. Girls on film. That's a reference to that, or being in the spotlight. The music I got in the background is just I found it on an advertisement for, I think it was a 𝙑𝙑𝙑𝙑, like a commercial roller iron where they iron sheets, and I just like the music. So it's like a generic kind of non-copyrighted music, I think. I try to use non-copyrighted music now, but you know, so they have their challenges with that as well. And then you've got that is the announcement off the Victoria line. It's Sarah Parnell. I think it was, this is Walthamstow Central, it was meant to say. So I cut that off, and then I say Florence Ballard A3060 in a very echoey voice. Originally, I was trying to use AI to mimic Sarah Parnell's voice and have her sort of say it. You can do it, but it takes a lot of work to do it. So I thought, nice to have me saying it. That's also a reference to how the underground announcements are. On the Circle line and whatnot, the announcements are done, like the station is done by Sarah Parnell, and in the Mind the Gap used to be done by Phil Sayer, and now it's done by Matt, his name. So we'll go like, say, the next station is Euston Square. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. So like, it's like a sort of two people thing. Then you've got the doors will open on the right hand side. That's taken from the Jubilee line announcements. And if you notice what the catch in is that all the machines open on the right. So they open from the right and go that way. That's what I'm saying, open on the right hand side. The only one that doesn't is the Zanussi top loader, but that's because if you view the machine this way, it opens right upwards. That's how I pictured that one. But yeah, so we recently just threw the WD64 in the intro as well. And that's what we just do. Any machines that come in now, we just add them to that intro. I'm sure people remember in 2018 when I had the A-Team intro as well. That scared the living daylights out of people, but I thought I'd have that as well. Obviously, we know that sound effect at the end, that a sound like this. For those who are, there's a lot of people that must know what that noise is. That is the sting or the cliffhanger sound used in the intros and outros of Doctor Who. I am obviously a Doctor Who fan. I have actually become obsessed with it, and I'm currently got it paused on my TV right now. So, as you know from that, so I incorporated that. That plus the channel icon, as I said, was all foreshadowing. It was foreshadowing the Hotpoint WD64 and whatnot as well. So yeah. Also, if you notice, when I do my date of the recording, it's now blue and yellow. That's also copying the Doctor Who logo. Every year I change up my intro, and so I have got an idea for next year's one, and I don't reveal it until, obviously, it also might not be what I end up using it for. But yeah, so that's the history of basically how my channel's evolved and what we've gotten to now. I don't really have any sort of videos of moments I'd like to share, so I'm just going to kind of do a voice one. We'll talk about some of the best moments, maybe like top moments I've had on this channel. I'll go through a few things and then sort of just give my personal thanks to you all.
Baby, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Ooh, I can't help myself. Need you and no one else. Hush your lips, baby. It's all your fault. You made me love you. You made me need you, baby. It's not unusual to be mad.
Insanely high water level.
It's not unusual to be sad with anyone. But if I ever find that you changed at any time, it's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you.
Sugar pie,
comes this time each year.
I guess I'll always love you. You got the love I need. You got the love I need. I guess I'll always love you. You got the love I need. You got the love I need. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. Everything wonderful. That's what you are. You're everything wonderful. Maybe you've given my heart a bundle full.
Had my money, I'll tell you what I do. London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down.
Surfing USA.
I love you. Baby love, my baby love. Send me no flowers.
boogie into my brain. It goes to bang, bang, bang till my feet do the same. But something's bugging, something ain't right. My best friend told me what you did last night. You left me sleeping in my bed. I was dreaming, but I should have been.
Tonight you're mine, completely. You give me your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. Tonight you're mine, completely. You give me your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try to concentrate, my mind wants to explore. Oh, mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you.
We've had some fun. Yes, we've had our ups and downs. Been down that rocky road, but here we are still around. We thought about someone else, neither one took the bait.
This old house once knew children. This old house once knew a wife. This old house was home of comfort as we focused on life. This old house once rang with laughter. This old house heard many shots. Now they travel.
Yeah, look, watch this, look, watch the machine.
When the night meets the morning sun, woke up this morning feeling fine.
Florence Ballad A3060.
Doors will open on the right-hand side.
Florence Ballad A3060.
Doors will open on the right-hand side.
Well, we're with my other favourite machine. I thought we can sit here while she's going and you get to see her for a bit. Oh, she's lovely and warm. It's on a boil wash with a load of whites. Yes, Dora and the long johns are in there thermal, so you can enjoy that. So let's think of some moments I could sort of go through this channel, no particular order or date order. This channel's been a lot of fun, and I get enjoyment out of doing every single video, including this one. And I get, you know, enjoyment out of all the adventures of like picking up temporary machines, doing everything. But there's also been times when there's been things I've had to share with you that, you know, haven't been the nicest. And I know, like, I've not wanted you guys to hear it. I've not wanted you guys to hear, like, some of the things that have happened. As life goes, though, there are good, there's bad at everything. In fact, that's why there's a song that I really take the saying to of it, you know, is a very important one. We all know this song by, should know the song by 𝙈𝙊𝙬𝙄𝙆 of Boyzone called Life is a Roller Coaster. Because life has its ups and it has its downs. And all you've got to do, as he says, you've just got to ride it. You just got to go with it. Life can't always be happy, and it doesn't have to always be sad. That's why with you guys, I always share my sad moments with you, because trying to show you that I'm real. That, you know, I'm human like everyone else. I have emotions. It's not always... If you're always showing you're happy, you're not showing your true self to people. And I do respect the people that don't, you know, some people don't want to show that of them. I do, because what I like to show you guys is no matter how many subscribers I've got, whether it's now at the moment we're like 8,067 or 8,074, or I've got 20,000, or I'm achieving my first YouTube play button at 50,000 subscribers or whatever it is you get for it, that I'm always going to be here for everyone. Like, I'm not... One of the things that I feel most sad about when some of my favourite YouTubers or vloggers become famous is that they become very hard to talk to, because they've got thousands of people trying to get hold of them. Sometimes fame just gets to people and it makes them think, I don't need to be friendly with anyone, and that's what changes them for the worst. I never want to be that person. In fact, I'm not bothered about getting verified on there. The only reason I'd ever do it is just to make sure that my channel was secure and that no one could ever impersonate me. But until then, you know, I think 𝙈𝙗washer 2007 is probably going to be the first one to get verified, and if he doesn't, well, I'd advise he does it, because I've seen people using his username or very similar ones, and, you know, could just try and steal the content. However, though, he's very unique in the way he does things. I don't think anyone could copy that, and that's what I like. I like when people have a unique way of doing stuff that, you know, very hard to copy. I try to be original in a lot of things I do in my channel. Like, for example, proud to say I'm the first person to film the full cycle of a Hotpoint WD-64, but it's just adding to all the ranges we've got complete on YouTube that we've now got a full cycle of, and I like doing that. That's what temporary machines did. It enabled me to be able to film cycles of machines that no one's filmed before, and I could think, right, I've completed that. If you guys ever want to see what that machine does, well, head on over to my channel. There you go. I've had every emotional moment, from losing someone in the family, like losing my auntie Brenda. I've had breakups, you know, happen. Even though I've not really truly had a girlfriend, my first one was Amy, and then, you know, we just didn't work out. We both wanted different things. That's how it goes. I've had friendships I've lost because, again, of something similar, that we both want different things, and it never stops me making videos, because I think to myself, if I don't do videos, I've got nothing to distract myself. I will sit here and just wallow in sadness about what happened. So that's why I also have a train spotting channel, King's Cross Thameslink, that I do all my train spotting on, because I think train spotting is a massive part of my life as well. You know, I do work on the railway, so there's also things I see at work that I think, oh, you know, add that to that. And I think that if I can share my emotions, you guys will know I'm real, that I'm not just someone who's behind here going, oh, you know, look at me with 8,000 subs and everything. I know that I have my rules about things, and I am like that because I do put others first, but I also do have to put myself in the moment too. I don't allow really anyone from the washing community on my Facebook, because my Facebook's more private for me, and there's a lot of drama in the washing machine community that I don't want on there. I do have Instagram, and people find it, they find it. I don't give it out on here, mainly because there's no private way to give out a name on YouTube without some random creep probably getting onto my page. And I don't do it to be difficult, I do it because I know how dangerous social media can be. I've grown up in the year where part of the millennium and the early 2000s was without social media. Then social media came along. I've seen how life has evolved from where this would be something I'd be doing all the time and I'd never be sharing it with anyone because I didn't know that there was anyone out there that shared the interest. But I've also seen how the likes of Facebook, I remember when MySpace came along, MSN, but I have seen the way that social media can be toxic, and every community has got it, but the washing machine community has got a lot of it, and it's why I keep out of a lot of that. So that's why I don't often allow people onto my Facebook. I do also have a rule that whatever social media besides YouTube that you're going to sort of follow me on, you've got to be at least 16 to follow me. Maybe in some cases 17 or 18. The reason is because it's to keep me safe. I don't mind talking to someone through comments on YouTube because I don't know your age, but if I know you your personal Instagram account, well, it's not good for me to talk to someone who's classed by law as a minor. Now, people get this wrong. The legal consent age in the UK is 16, so anyone 16 or above, you are no longer legally classed as a minor. However, some of the more inappropriate language, like say what me and Dorian speak about on our videos, they're more for people that are 18 because it's just innuendos and stuff you won't understand. Now, I always bleep out swearing in my YouTube videos. Number one, I did that because it wasn't because YouTube can demonetize you, because there have been videos where I've sworn in the background and they never got demonetized. It's to keep it friendly for a lot of people. However, I am an adult. I do speak to friends who do use adult language. So when we go to Doran's, when I've gone to Matt and Elliot's in Australia, and I just put a disclaimer, if there's too much to blank out, whereas it's going to be like I blank out half the sound of a washing machine, I just put a disclaimer in the description. That way you guys see it, you know I'm kind of not responsible for what's on that video if I can't blank it out. But yeah, that's why I'm like, and like, it's on the drain. I'll talk long enough so you get to hear her do the first spin. Now, obviously I used to take requests, and the reason I don't is there's a reason for it. It's number one, the main one that's in my description is because yes, my life is so busy, like with work and whatnot, I barely get enough time to do videos of things that I've already got to do. Like I've got videos planned around Christmas for this, because December is the first anniversary of this machine. Like, because I've obviously owned the machine since December. You guys didn't know till 9 months later that I had her. You know, you got that. I might do special videos with my A3060. I might do something with, well, I don't know if the Miele's ever going to come back, but I might do one of these two washing and drying together. And just in general, we might bring the Hoover 6 in. I may at some point bring a temporary machine in. I might go back to that. It's just because the A3060 is out there. I do not want to put this machine outside because a paint worker gets scratched and I don't want anything to go wrong with that. So we may have to put the A3060 outside for about a week or so when I get, I don't know, we'll see what happens, it's not a guarantee. But when people do requests, it's like, I might get a request from this person one day, and then might get this person and another person another day. I've got to do all that to remember. I've got to have the correct washing loads for what they might want. But also, some people want you to do things like stick a heavy towel in the machine and put it on spin. Now I consider that abuse to in my machine, so I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Now, there's people that might say, yeah, but you've done videos of your hot point, like washing a bath mat. I'm like, yeah, because that's an actual wash load I was going to do. It wasn't done to set the machine out of balance. The machine decided to get out of balance. That's the machines I'm doing. Hence why I won't stop any of these machines. The A3060 I only stop because I'm worried about what the draw hose is going to do. No sun's off, unfortunately. She's quite balanced, well, a bit unbalanced, but that's fine. It smells good. I can smell the persil coming out of that drawer and everything. It smells great. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to sort of talk about and just say, yeah, so there's explanations to why. If I haven't covered something that you guys are curious about, you can drop it in the comments below. Don't put it in the live chat, because I'm already talking to you guys on that as we speak, like as this video is playing. Put it in the comment section below and I can answer that literally as soon as possible. That way I can give you a more one-to-one thing. do prefer the way these climb slightly. I've got more used to this than the way the 𝘾𝙀𝙀 did. For those who know what happened to the 𝘾𝙀𝙀, she was stripped for parts eventually. I think Service Slimline took some parts of her. I never got the motor back sadly because Charlie had a personal situation, but he had saved parts of a WD-71 for me, bless him. He even saved the front tub, even saved the dryer unit. Never got it unfortunately, but hey, there's parts of these going on eBay. So yeah, guys, that's just literally my channel. That's everything I think I can cover. 10 years. I still remember it like it was last year. And never did I think I'd end up with one of these. Now, the thing is, I am planning to do one on my washing machine collection at some point, or talk about each machine. You guys know the story of the A3060, you guys know the story of this one. I am planning on doing an updated video on the vacuum collection and one of the iron collection too, because you guys don't know much about the iron collection, despite the fact that I have actually always filmed irons. I need to talk through, I've got, I think 32 irons I've got. Right, I'm going to wrap that up, guys, so I'm not keeping you for too long. So that's just my channel in a nutshell. That's Florence Ballard, that's the life of Florence Ballard A3060 and how I came to be what I am now. But do you know what? This video isn't complete. What do you mean, you may ask? This video isn't complete because at the end of the day, there's one, or many things I'm not addressing, but they're all on the one. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Each and every single one of you that plays one of my videos, comments, talks about me to your friends, or whatever it is you do, whether you come onto my channel for fun, or you actually seem to learn something. I mean, I don't feel like I'm the educational person type, you know, but I've done the reviews. You guys have made me get the views, the millions of channel views. Oh, the air comes out of the... I always get scared when that happens. With all the things that you guys have commented, you know, and I obviously try as best I can to always reply back to every comment. Sometimes a comment just goes missed, or like maybe I was meant to reply to it later, but that's why sometimes you get a reply from me 6 months later. Like, you'd always be guaranteed I'll reply to about 99% of my comments. You guys have pushed my channel to be what it is. You, like Dorian especially, I mean, bless him, you know, he's been through a hard lot of things in his life. People have treated him wrongly, you know, at times on there, and I'm not going to go into detail about it because that's personal, but he has been there for me. Like, he was there with me. I got to know him just for a year before I went out to Australia, and he was like talking to me while I was in Australia. I've had Charlie, I mean, washing machine guy, he's like my brother, well, he's like a brother to me, literally, and he's been there for me through everything that I've had. As I say, he pushed me to get this machine and told me not to ever give up on that. Just, even the old friends I don't really talk to, Spencer or 𝙄𝙀𝙏𝙀𝙀, as I call him, you know, I loved having him here, learning about the Intercity 125. We've got the Vintage Boy 34 Kai, I don't really hear anything from him. He looked after the 9530 for me, he looked after the Hoover 6 for me. I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for people like that doing these things for me. And every person, I don't know if he's going to view this, but I know he views my channel. Mike, we had one of those. All the advice you have given me on the Hoover A3060, you helped me get that machine up and running at one point. Bit of personal note, I know that I used to be quite annoying when I first joined like Service Wash and whatnot, and you know, I do apologise for that and not maybe getting involved in some of the wrong crowds and the groups, but you know what? I want to say thank you for always being happy for me to comment on your videos and ask something, and just in general for the machines that you have shared, like that Creeder Electra, the 17004. Just keep an eye on your Hoover A3062 because I really do want that machine and I might come and get it one day. But no, it's nice to know stuff like that, and just for everyone like here I look at this Robert Sager, Unimatic 1140, he is in charge of automaticwasher.org. That website was my holy grail when I realised I'm not the only one who loves this stuff. Even like Chris Laundry Centre, he has looked after machines for me. He's given me the A3472. He's given me literature as well to add to my collection because I lost all that as a kid. He gave me a Whirlpool 6 cents brochure. Yeah, just gave me everything that, you know, even me and him had a bit of a rough patch at the start, but he was kind enough to forgive me for everything that happened. That's why I'm grateful to people like that I am. And I'm sure there's more friends I'll make in the future, you know, more washings to attend. And maybe once I move and get my own place, I can start inviting people around to see my machines, because I feel like I miss having that. Just this house is not suitable for it. I can only have one machine at a time really, and it's just too much moving around and whatnot. But I'm sure Charlie's going to come around here one day to see the WD-64. He's going to be the first one to film it on the profile spin, because I won't ever do that, as I don't like the profile spin, but he's welcome to do that. Look, she's behaving. But yeah, I wouldn't have been here for 10 years if it wasn't for all of you. Also got Washer Crazy. He was the first person I ever invited around it. And he saw the 𝙈.9530. We did laundrettes together. Laundrette Explorer. Well, he was Glenfield Math K1. I loved having him here to film the Electrolux Wascutters with. And in general, he's just great. He leaves such really good constructive comments on my channel, like what he liked about a video. There was a guy called Steve, I think his name was, mad about Hoovers. He used to leave really detailed comments on my page about everything I tested at British Heart Foundation. I loved his video. I loved what he would say. All you guys have been amazing. Just know if I've spoken to you and I'm still in the group with you somewhere, you do mean something to me. Balance again. So I'm going to leave it at that. And yeah, so here's to... Well, I can't drink alcohol because I'm on night shift, so I'm going to drink mango lassi. Yeah? So guys, here's to possibly another 10 years. I want to be on this channel for a lifetime. The day I die, yeah, that'll be it. There'll be more machines to come. I have got more machines planned for the future in the collection, and lots of exciting things for next year that you guys are all going to join me on. So guys, from me, Florence Ballard A3060, at 10 years on YouTube, in the ever expanding washing machine community, thank you very much for everything you have done for me. I'm grateful to be here with you guys. You are extra good to me. And just realise, whatever machines we like, whether we like modern or old, vintage, we like dishwashers or anything else, vacuum cleaners and spin dryers, washer dryers, just know that all of us are in one thing together. We're all going through the spin cycle of life together. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow.